Three, two, one.
Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and the like. Thanks for joining me today as we uncover the mysteries of the Mandela effect itself and find out the true meaning of it all. We must discover what is really happening, what is really going on here, to change these things that we know and hold dear to us. And let us help others discover the meaning of the Mandela effect, how it affects them, and the price of milk. Thank you. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe down below.
Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and the like. Thank you for joining in. Welcome all Mandela effectians. So I'm joined tonight with Teresa and Sandy, and here we go. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome, everyone.
That was a blast from the past.
Did you get to see it? Did you see it on your screen?
I did. Yeah, I haven't
Awesome.
seen that intro in over a year and a half.
I know, it's been a while. Thank you for telling me to do that, Sandy.
Yeah, you should do it more often.
I will. I'll do it more often.
Okay, cool.
Well, we got Raleigh in the chat. We got Amy Smart. Hey, Amy's. We got Sandy. It looks like you're there.
Uriel Ben Abraham
Eddie
Brown. Did I pronounce
Eddie.
that right?
Eddie's here. Welcome, everyone. Raleigh, good to have you.
Welcome, Raleigh.
So, Teresa, do we have any birthdays to mention before we begin?
Yes, hold on. I got them up here. We have
Teresa, you sound a little bit loud.
Shaw.
There we go.
Hold on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hey, Sharon. Hey, King.
Today's birthday is Ashley Shaw. Yesterday's birthday, we had Linda Mountford, Michael Webb.
Now you're a robot. You're a robot.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Linda Mountford.
Is that better?
The last thing I heard.
Okay, we have Therion L. Knight on May 25th. Patrick Glacios on May 28th. We have Jeremy Latvala on May 29th, along with Deb Reddy. She's the same day. And I don't even really know when Rena's birthday is, so I can't wish her a happy birthday. Because this is saying her birthday's May 30th. Huh?
It's past. We'll just say
okay, so happy belated birthday. And maybe it's Mandela. And that's it for
no, it's not. You're forgetting Dan again.
Oh, Dan's birthday is
the end of May. I don't know which date. 30th or 31st. Happy
early birthday, Scarab Performance. Yay.
Yay. Thank you, Teresa, for covering all that. We got about 75% of it.
Teresa Roboto.
Don't we always Hey, so
all right, now, guys.
Can we begin? Huh?
Yes, Brian. You know what? There's two new Mandela effects tonight. Well, not but the thing is, I would do one in about like 2 in, and then the other one do towards the end, so you could break it up.
Well,
you know.
You have it on your screen, right? You can see all the folders.
Yes, I can.
Let me know which ones to do, like in the correct order. So I'm going to start off with the one you mentioned.
Okay.
And that's Stephanie Powers, if I might say it.
Yes, that's fine.
So it's a name change, correct? This one is
spelling. The spelling. Yeah.
Spelling change. Okay. Yep. Guys, fill in the blank. Okay. Do you remember Stephanie with I guess, would it be an F or a PH?
Yes.
Okay. So those are the two choices. Do you remember F or PH in this 80s TV series? Heart to Heart. Anyone know Heart to Heart? Any comments?
And if you guys saw me cover this on Mandela Monday, or Curious or Show last week. I'm sorry. Just answer what you answered back then.
Okay, I'm going to check the chat. Let's see. Hey, we got Dean Johnson here. Looks like we have 3 votes in so far. We got Eddie says PH. Uriel says PH, and so does Sharon. Okay, so 3 PHs. Anyone remember an F at all in the Stephanie portion? Okay, so Eddie says he watched it a lot back then, and he's certain it was PH.
Mm-hmm.
Matrix Seeker says it was PH. Amy says, I assume the normal way, the normal PH way. So what is it, Sandy?
It's next. You have the slides up?
Yeah, let me get it back up here on the screen. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll be surprised to find out that it's always been Stephanie with an F. Stefanie, Powers. Her name was Stephanie with a PH in my past, but it's always been Stephanie with an F. So, you want to zoom in? Can you read that, Sandy?
I'm actually putting these in order for you. So.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I'll read it.
Read it?
Yeah, if you want to read it, Teresa, that's fine.
Okay, zoom in a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Heart to heart, star Stephanie Powers, 72, cuts a useful figure, an orange 2-piece, as she attends television festival in Monte Carlo. And if you notice the way it's spelled Stephanie, which is the way that you remember too, Brian?
Yeah, I remember Stephanie with a PH. And this is...
Yep, and you know what's funny? My mother almost named me that name, Stephanie, so that's how I remember that. That was one of the other choices of my name.
Really? Wow, well...
Yeah, my mother loved Stephanie. Yep.
Your life may have turned out like a million times... Your life may have turned out a million times different than what it is now.
Yeah, and I might have had a Mandela name, too. Well, actually, my name is Mandela right now because Mother Teresa, for me, it was always T-H-E-R-E-S-A, and now her name is P-E-R-E-S-A. So, yeah, my name is, she is Mandela because I was named after her. But thank God my name didn't change yet. Just remember my name always has an H in it in case my name gets Mandela and I don't remember. Okay?
All right.
Yeah.
It's a simple...
Yeah.
Stephanie Powers, no residue for PH.
Fine, Andy.
Who found that one?
So what? I didn't hear
Sandy
you.
found this.
Wow.
Sandy, you found this weeks ago, right?
Yeah. Well, 2 weeks ago, yeah. No, I wouldn't say weeks, 2 weeks ago. All right,
Uriel.
The next one is Uncle.
Uriel says my sister's name is Stephanie.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Wasn't it it was very popular in the 80s, wasn't it, the name Stephanie?
Yeah, I love Heart to Heart. One of my favorite shows. It was a really good show. What? Detectives. Yep, really great detectives.
All right, Brian, so you're doing Uncle next, and then I sent you pictures with numbers so you can follow along after you do Uncle, okay? So I don't have to keep saying it.
Yeah, Eddie, I remember William, not Wilhelm. That's an old one, Eddie. An older.
What pictures are you sending me? Oh.
Uncle's next, and then after Uncle, you're going to follow the numbers.
Okay. Thanks for doing that, Sandy.
No problem. I left one out. I think we already did it.
Hang on. So Eddie Von Kuhn says William Duffo. Duffo, not William. It's in other words.
Defoe.
Yeah, it's an
Defoe,
older
he's an
one.
actor.
Right. But look at the name, how it's spelled, William.
Yeah, Brian, that's an old one.
Okay, I had no idea.
Yeah, you were going for that.
You know, I've been out of the Mandela effect for about a year, right, Sandy?
Yeah. I think you have, Brian.
You missed a lot.
Yeah, I was doing my schoolwork. I'm almost done with my master's now, so I can pretty much.
Time to play catch up, Brian.
Yep, time to play catch up.
Yep.
All right, Teresa.
Yeah.
This
I
is
can't
you.
read this. I can't read the Mandela effect. Can you zoom in, please? Zoom in. Brian?
I did.
I can't say. There you go. I can't say if this is the Mandela effect or not, but I will admit it seems odd. I've never heard of this. I found this really strange. Yeah, see? No. True or false? Was there ever a spin-off 1964 television series, The Man from U.N.C.L.E? And if you remember one, what was it called?
If you remember yes or no, do you remember a spin-off of The Man from U.N.C.L.E? And if you say yes, what was the title of it? And if you've seen this already, just answer what you originally answered.
Do I wait to flip over, Sandy, to the next slide? Do I wait?
Yeah. Wait for a few answers, Brian. Brian, do you know this one?
No.
It's old.
The only uncle that I really know is the say uncle. You know, when you got someone in a headlock and you're like doing a noogie on them, say uncle.
So you've actually never heard of the TV series The Man from U.N.C.L.E?
No.
Or the movies?
Yeah.
No, I honestly don't. Is this an 80s show?
Well, it's an 80s show, but there was also movies and TV series as early as 2015.
Oh, wow.
Remakes. Yep.
Uh-huh.
So far we have Eddie. I've never seen anything from Uncle.
I think this more is for older people, Sandy. For some reason, guys, I'm always finding. How do I explain this, Sandy? I always end up finding old effects from.
But Teresa, did you not hear what I said?
What?
There's been movies and remakes of the TV series as early as 2015.
Oh, no.
So it's not just old. It's just,
okay.
I don't know.
Well,
Actually, I'm going to look up the movie. Give me a minute. I'll tell you who starred in it.
Sorry about that.
If you just search The Man from U.N.C.L.E, you don't get the old series. You get The Man from U.N.C.L.E 2015 action comedy starring.
Crypto V says, hello all, there was never a spinoff.
Thank you.
Where'd you see this?
Okay, The Man from U.N.C.L.E, I'm trying to see their names bigger. Starring Henry Cavill, Arnie Hammer. Oh, experience it in IMAX, August 14, 2015. Interesting. So, yeah, there was a movie in 2015.
Yeah.
I know the guy's face. He was in the TV series Chuck. He played, I think he played the guy, the spy that was killed.
Should I go ahead and spill the beans?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
if they don't know it, go right ahead.
Okay, the girl from U.N.C.L.E. Okay. Now, this only ran for one season, well, before I was born, but it just seems strange that for something as well known as the Man series, that we wouldn't have at least heard of the girl from U.N.C.L.E.
See, in my past, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is a very well-known
Brian.
series. I'm shocked that most people don't know it.
Also a bit weird is them using a girl instead of a woman. It wasn't the boy from U.N.C.L.E, it was the man, so you would expect to see a counterpart like the woman, right?
And I found it. So when you get to the residue, there's one image that says the woman.
Well, Sandy, you are the woman for finding it.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
Okay, so they're literally
What's going on with my
thousands of
internet?
TV series we never heard of because they were canceled too soon, and or rightfully, and some are canceled even before they what?
I know that got cut off before they're even seen. So some they film, they're ready to go, and then they cancel them before they air. So
Oh man.
before they air, some are even canceled before they air.
But some programs seem so off that you have to wonder if it was only created in this reality or timeline and not the one we are from. And this may be one of those.
And that's why we do Stephanie first.
Okay. So because not only is it a series with just one season, there's books, comics, artwork, even toys, which makes it even more unlikely that we've never heard of it. So is it an ME?
So that's the thing. Like, why would they make all this stuff for a show that only had one season?
Right.
That's weird. I mean, there's dolls, and I mentioned this on the other show. They had a hardcover book called The Girl from U.N.C.L.E. Annual. There's 4 annuals, 4 years of it, but there's only one season. That's weird.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, this. When was this? In the 60s?
Yeah. Your mom
Oh,
is in the chat. She says, I don't remember a girl from U.N.C.L.E. We don't either.
all right. Let's see. Girl from U.N.C.L.E. So there's basically 2 effects here. And by the way, this is residue. Stephanie Powers with the PH right there in the non-residue for the girl from U.N.C.L.E. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll say that one's a good chance of being an ME. All right. You want to tell me which one's next, Sandy?
I gave you the pictures. You're looking for number 3.
Okay. Flying.
You want me to read it to you? You want me to read them all out loud?
Well, hang on.
It was Teresa's, but she's not here. So you want to do 4 first and wait till Teresa gets back?
Okay, she's in the thing. Okay, there she is.
Okay. There you go.
Good job, the solar flares.
No, Teresa, that was last week. It's over with.
Weird. My
Parallel
internet
universe.
is terrible all day.
It's quantum entanglement.
Yeah.
Hey, Quantum. No, Uriel is quantum entanglement, Teresa, in the chat.
Okay, go ahead. Next.
All right, Teresa, you want to read this one since it's yours?
Yes, can you zoom in?
Yeah.
And very likely, busy pop.
Yeah, I'm covering all
Have you
bases.
ever heard? Okay, there's a good chance Fizzy Pop found this, so just in case, I'm going to give her credit. Have you ever heard or seen flying Gurnards? Species family. Oh my God, I can't pronounce this.
Teresa, yes, you can. Read the bottom line.
Okay, Brian, move it up a little bit so I can see it. Dak, tell, lock, for, rid, at. Thank you, Sandy.
Hey, you're welcome.
Dactyl Opera Day.
They're very weird looking. I just found that the other day.
Right there at the bottom.
Yeah. Did it 10 times fast.
So what is this little guy do here? What is this?
Nicknamed the butterfly of the sea due to the large decorative fins, which mimics wings and are collapsible.
Wait a minute, before you go any further, Brian, go back for a second.
Oh, what happened?
I want to show you guys something. It's weird. Look at that word.
Okay.
The dacta, whatever. It's pterodactyl.
Yeah.
It's spun around.
Oh my God, you're right.
It's pterodactyl.
I didn't even notice that, Sandy.
I didn't notice that either. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Play on words.
Just want to point that out. Go
on. Zoom in. Besides their cool wings, it's confusing that they're named flying anything as they are bottom dwellers. Wait till you guys see this. Sandy discovered something about them I didn't know. I just thought they were amazing looking, but Sandy found something interesting.
No, this is why I thought like the physics.
Swim and walk on their fins along the ocean floor. Look at that.
And this is why I thought it was physics, Teresa.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I thought this was cool. I found it on my own.
So it's a walking fish?
Yeah.
Wow.
With his fins. Yeah, his little fins. Like, I'm going to go take a walk. Zoom in, please. Okay, go down. Well, I can't see that. Go, Brian, go down so I can see the bottom. Down, 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 down. Stop. Some are very good at camouflage, while others are brightly colored and easily stand out from their surroundings. Check that out.
That's pretty cool.
It looks like some of them want to blend in. Yeah, look at that. Wow.
Anyone want
some
one of these
also have
as
a unicorn. Oh, they look like little unicorns.
Yeah.
Which is odd. Thanks,
Sandy. Hang on a second. I didn't even notice that unicorn thing when I first looked.
Yeah, they look like
no, I didn't. Brian, I purposely didn't put these images in there. Some don't have it and some do.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have never seen this before. They can grow up to 30 inches or
20,
30 inches long.
20 inches, yeah.
Oh, 20, I'm sorry. 20 inches long, come in a variety of colors and patterns, and are found on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. In the USA, they can be found from Massachusetts to the Bahamas. Mm-hmm. Have any of you guys in the chat ever seen or heard of these before?
No.
Oh, I can't read that. Zoom in, please.
I may have seen this while playing Super Mario Brothers.
Oh. Brian, I can't read that. Go down.
That's it. You read it.
Down.
You read it. You read it already.
Oh.
No, I said I think I saw one of these while playing Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, really? Well, guess what? Now your imaginary game is not real.
Welcome, Adam.
Hey, Adam.
Hey, Adam. Surprise.
Eddie Von Kuhn says, are you sure it isn't the males, LOL, the ones with the unicorn horn? It could be. I don't know.
Well, no, they're different. There's different species within the family of Gurnard.
Oh, my God. Brian,
like the Oriental species has a unicorn horn. The Oriental species has the fin that sticks up in the top. Different species of the family. Some of them have it and some don't.
Wow. I thought it was good.
Brian, Kuhn is pronounced Keen.
What is it?
Kuehn is pronounced Keen.
Everybody messes
Keen. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Keen.
It's okay. He told us already. That's why I'm just sharing it with you.
Next up, we're going to talk about the John Wayne movie.
Let's do Sandy.
Yep. Again, guys, if you saw this one, please just write what you remembered Tuesday night or Thursday night. And if you don't know it, you don't know it, and it's okay.
Okay, 1963 Western comedy starring John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's Intock at the end. Intock, INTOCK to help you. So, what is this word? If you know the name of the movie, what do you remember it as?
McLintock.
That's interesting. You're with Fizzy Pop. Okay, that's good to know. No, Eddie, that's what you're going to put the line in between. You're filling in the letters between M and INTOCK.
It's not McLintock?
No, it's not, Brian. Just wait. I'm waiting for a few answers. Hold on. No. It's not Macintosh. Stop it.
You guys are cracking me
There
up.
we go. Now we have McLintock. Quantum. Which one do you remember though? Do you remember McLintock or McLintock? Which one? You have both. See, Brian, you talking has influenced the chat. I didn't get any of this on Twisted Tuesday. Just letting you know. Okay, so you're a McLintock. Okay, good to know.
I think McLintock.
Okay, here's the thing, Brian. It's not Mac, but every answer in the chat now is Mac because you influenced the chat. See? But I did find residue of Mac, which is funny.
Really?
Go on. Yeah, we can go.
Okay, so hang on. Uriel says, yes, I remember it. McLintock.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie says McLintock. Macintosh.
No, he's that.
Oh, McLintock.
Esoteric. Do you mean Clin or do you mean Ken? Do you remember an L there or no L?
I don't remember an L.
You just said an L, Brian. You said McLin. You said
No. I was calling out people's answers from the chat while displaying them up on the screen. I remember.
Don't see that yet.
I remember McLintock, but it was. I pronounce sometimes Mick and Mac the same, but it seems like it would be MC, right?
Right. Okay. Well, let's just go on. We'll show them. So in my past, it was McLintock, the top one. I made that.
Wow.
The current reality is McLintock with an exclamation point. So anybody that remembers Mac, it's still a Mandela figure because it was never Mac.
No, it would. No, most MCs typically have a C after the MC.
Yeah, like McCarthy.
What?
Like McCarthy.
Yeah, or McCurry.
Or McCafferty. Yeah.
McLaughlin. I don't know.
Well, no, McLaughlin doesn't.
No? Okay. Well, I guess not everything applies.
No, but you know what? I've never heard of the name McLintock, only McLintock.
Okay. That's a weird one.
So here's the weird one that I found. It says Mac. Do you see it? It's a poster. Mac.
Yeah, right. I see that.
And why the exclamation point? I don't understand. I don't remember that.
So it's always been Mick, MC, Lintalk, for some reason. Yeah, poster. It was never an exclamation point. Okay. Let's look at the next one.
So this is current reality. Eddie Von Keen says McDonald's.
McDonald.
You were saying Mick is usually followed by a C, so we changed McDonald's to McConnell's.
I'm saying usually, like, it wouldn't lead with an. Not really. It wouldn't lead with an L, would it? Like after.
We're gonna hide that. Sorry, Drill 808. Sorry, we can do that. Family friendly show and all. Okay, so at the top, we have a comment on Quora saying McLintock, and below is a video of the John Wayne McLintock house.
Oh, wow. And that's on Quora?
Well, no, the video is on YouTube. Quora is above. Just a different
Oh,
piece
I
of
see
residue.
that. Pretty cool.
So this hat is being sold, and I'm sorry I didn't highlight it, but it says McLintock in there. And on the
Yeah,
top,
McLintock.
yeah, at the very top, you can see it says McLintock.
Look at the F and the I is merged right there. You see that?
Yep, I do. So Westerns filmed at Old Tucson, and in the list was McLintock, 1963. And then underneath is just a comment and says McLintock is loosely based on William Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew. Okay, Drill 08, says you. Unfortunately, you're completely outnumbered here. What's that Dave Matthews song that goes wasting time?
More residue. Sandy has this really fancy way, you guys. Anyone new out there? She puts green borders around things that are residue.
Yes.
The
Not
proof is in the
fancy.
pudding.
It's that it lets me know if things change.
Yeah, I mean, come on, you wouldn't see all this residue if it wasn't in someone's memory.
If it was fake news.
Yeah, if it was fake.
I mean, all of these news articles are from 1963 when it came out. So it's not like people's memories aren't, good. It was out. It was currently out in those news articles. Dean Johnson says Mac means son of, but as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe of his name. John 1:12. Thank you, Dean. Oh, there was another one too.
What?
It said the foxes have their holes and the birds have their nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head and rest. Thomas 8:6.
Cool.
Thank you, Dean.
Oh, thank you,
my
Dean.
gosh, there's 3 of them. He's got so many.
He's
What's
very
too many?
prepared. No,
Who?
Dean reads a lot. He reads a lot of Bible scriptures, and he's really
all,
awesome.
guys. I don't know how you find songs. Dean finds everything. He's on the ball.
Okay, so we're talking about the next thing is tarantulas, I guess.
Yes, we're just talking about. We're not saying these are Mandela effects. We're saying these are new to us. Mm-hmm. But we can't know every animal in the world, so they're just new to us.
Can I read it?
Yep.
Yeah, go for it.
In the past, we have covered the Mandela rainbow applying itself to many species, including tarantulas. So anybody who's freaked out by spiders, close your eyes.
Yeah, I guess we'll give a little trigger
And I'm
warning
freaked out
there.
by spiders, but I have no problem looking at them. It's just I don't want to see one in person. Yeah, I'm okay looking at pictures. Zoom in, please. But I do not like spiders. I'm scared to death of them. And while these may not be man animals, I can say, but we've never seen tarantulas like this. Recently, I found spotted one species we've never come across before. Check this out, guys. Oh, zoom in, please. Brian?
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
Down.
Sorry.
Down. Right there. Stop. These tarantulas also come in every color of the rainbow, but they have pink to orange toes and are aptly named pink toe tarantulas. I thought it was funny how their toes were pink, and I did post that in my group about a week ago, and I thought it was really cute. And ironically, at least one pink toe specifically is pink with black toes, and another with blue toes.
So the
It looks
top
like they
up
like
is
to
blue
paint their
toe.
toenails.
I don't see
Hey,
how
might as well
anyone,
look forward to a spider.
I don't see how anyone could think these things are cute and cuddly.
No, I'm talking about the ideas that their toes are like
Yeah,
different color. I thought
I
it was
know,
cool.
but some people have these as pets, you know.
Yeah, actually,
No.
this is a very common, a very popular pet, the pink toe.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Whew. Don't see how, but that's okay. I used to have hermit crabs as pets. Don't have them no more. I haven't had them in over a year or so. But yeah, I used to have crabs as pets. Very smelly hermit crabs, especially when they passed away in the shells. Ugh. Worst smell you'd ever smelled. Yeah. Zoom in, please. While researchers researching this, Sandy discovered two new tarantulas with a distinguishing feature. They have blue legs, but yellow and tan bodies.
Now,
Check that out.
when we say new, they actually are new species that were discovered. So they're new
Yeah.
species.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were
Next.
discovered within the last couple of years.
Back in, whoops, Brian, back down. Down, Brian. Back in 2019, Sandy found jewel caterpillars, but now there's a tarantula. Have you ever seen a jeweled tarantula before?
It's actually
They're
Brazilian.
100% new. Brazilian?
Yeah, I forgot to write it. Brazilian jewel tarantulas.
Look at the colors, guys. Look at that.
Wow.
The legs look clear, but yet they have color at the ends of them. It almost looks like somebody painted a picture of it, don't it?
It does.
Look at that. Look at the different colors. I've never seen a blue tarantula before. To me, tarantulas in my
That blue
timeline were
one,
always just
Teresa,
black.
that blue one is a pink toe.
It is?
Ah,
Yeah, it's got white
It is.
toes, but it's if it has a different color toe, it's a pink toe. Because
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be pink. There's blue toes and white toes and black toes. If it has a different color toe, it's the pink toe.
wow. Look at it's amazing the different colors, guys. There's so many new species. I've never seen so many new species that I'm like just blown over by these. Look at that. Wow. Yep.
Well, thank goodness I had my dinner
Thank you,
earlier,
Ryan.
way earlier.
Me too. Me too, Ryan.
All right. Anyone else?
Thanks,
Gross
Sarah
out?
McDonald.
Okay, Brian, just pick
No
one.
way. I might have had that for a pet. Hey, Sharon. Welcome. Wow. What's up next, Brian? Hey, Adam, for Christ.
All right. The next one, let's see. We're going to talk about sinking. About is this a personal
Yes,
story?
this happened to Teresa and I. It's just 2 slides. It's quick.
Yeah,
Okay, hold
Brian,
on.
we know all the thinking, don't we? Synchronicities? Well, Sandy and I had a big one. It's going to blow you away, Brian. Like, seriously. Remember what we think about the cookies? Remember that?
Yep.
We had it even better. We even had it worse than you and I did. Watch
Wait,
this.
Teresa, should we mention what
You're
happened
going to be blown
today?
away what happened.
Should we also mention what happened today? Because that was a sink if I ever saw one.
What happened today?
With Recall Vector.
What?
With Recall Vector.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
let's get through this first. Let's do this first, and we'll tell them.
All right.
So Teresa and I had the craziest sink this week.
I can't believe this.
Oh, thank you, Raleigh. Oh, that's so sweet.
Go ahead, Sandy. Tell Brian what happened.
Okay, so guys, this very random picture on the internet. I don't know if any of you are was it I can't pronounce it. Mathematicians that focus on statistics. Teresa and I were. Teresa's like, "Hey Sandy, I was looking through Facebook, not in her group, just Facebook in general.
Just a random
And while I'm
group.
looking through it, Teresa says, "Hey Sandy, I want to show you this really cool picture." And I'm like, "What is it?" She's like, "It's somebody holding a bottle up to a shirt." And I'm like, "No, wait, stop. Just stop." We were looking at the exact same picture at the same time, randomly on the internet. What are the odds of that?
Yeah. I'm not even kidding, Brian. At the exact same time.
So that's the picture she sent, and then I took a screenshot of what I was looking at and sent it to her. And that's what you're looking at here.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is that possible? You guys were looking at the same random image.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It's so random.
That's why I am like blown away by what happened. And look how weird it looks too. We didn't even tell each other what we were looking at. I was like, "Oh, I want to show Sandy this picture."
And
Was
I
that
was
something
like,
you-
"Stop,
Brian." That's what you call it. It's like 1 in a zillion chances that we were looking at the exact same picture at the exact same time.
Very true.
Tell me that's trippy.
We should have people call in at the end of the show and talk about some synchronicities they've had.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah, have fun.
Speaking
Brian.
of, wait, listen, quantum entanglement says that's an example of quantum entanglement. Well, here's another example. So
Oh, wow.
2 weeks ago, I found the Stephanie Powers change. And this past week, I covered Stephanie Powers on Mandela Monday. Well, Twisted Tuesday, because we postponed. And then on Curious and Curiouser, and now here. But today, Recall Vector did a video on Stephanie Powers' name change that he found completely on his own. That's a sync. I'm sorry, that's a sync. We both found the same thing at the same. He found it at the same time I was presenting it. That's crazy.
Things are happening. It's just bizarre.
If you go to his channel right now, you'll see a video on Stephanie Powers. That's insanity. It's called Heart to Heart, I think.
Well, Amy says synchronized AF.
Yep, seriously.
What does that mean?
I won't, Teresa, think about it. I won't say it on this channel, but as blank.
F.
Yeah, F. Yeah.
Huh?
Teresa, well, I'll explain after the show.
Okay. That's funny. That is funny.
I don't get it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We'll explain after the show. We can't explain it here.
Okay. Went over my head. I'm sorry. A little slow today.
Okay, next up we have Rewind Beer.
Oh, yes.
So,
I covered this on your channel, Brian. You probably forgot.
Oh my God, we're live. What do you want?
This is from 2019, Brian.
okay. Marlboro decided to venture into the beer market.
In the early 70s.
That was back in 2019. It was not successful due to advocates against tobacco ads, so it only was sold for a few years.
It was not back in 2019. 2019 is when I first presented this.
Oh,
without
okay,
graphics.
okay.
I put it into graphics.
It was in the 70s, apparently.
Yeah, the early 70s.
Okay.
I wasn't born yet, but you'd at least think we'd have heard of this. As for the Budweiser cigarettes on the left, they are not real. They were crafted by an artist for aesthetics, never for sale. He just thought, hey, it would go great with Marlboro beer, Budweiser cigarettes. So he made them. But turns out, now this part's new, guys. I didn't cover this in 2019. Turns out there is Budweiser smoking tobacco. It's just not Anheuser-Busch. It's just Budweiser. And suspiciously, they stopped using the name. They stopped making this when Budweiser beer came out. So I don't know if they bought
Really?
them out.
That was weird.
Yeah, so there was Budweiser tobacco. That's weird. And then here's some more pictures of the cans. That's the full package the artist made.
Interesting.
Crazy, huh?
Anyone?
You know, Philip shooting up.
Anyone here remember Marlboro beer? Anyone?
Quantum says, I was born in 1960 and I don't remember Marlboro beer.
Wow. Ooh, somebody actually older than me.
So next, we're going to be talking about a 1990. Is it Johnny Depp movie?
Yes.
What?
Hi, Tobin.
Hi, Tobin.
Hey, welcome, Tobin.
Oh my god, I gotta turn my phone down. Sorry. Going crazy phone.
Tobin
All right,
says,
I'm
drinking
turning
beer
my
makes
phone
you
down.
smart.
Keep
They made
singing.
Budweiser.
Tony
Tobin,
says
Tobin.
never. No for Marlboro beer, says Tobin.
Okay. So let's go on to this next. Let's explore this Johnny Depp movie.
Sure. It's small. I'm going to tell you guys the name of the movie is Cry Baby. Please write how Cry Baby is written. That's what I'm asking you to do. Spell out Cry Baby like you remember it, if you know the movie. And it's okay to guess if you want, but Brian, did you ever see this movie?
I have not.
Okay. It's a cross between Hairspray. If you were to, if Hairspray and Grease had a baby, there you go. So Amy Smart comes out with Cry Dash Baby. Eddie Van Keen, Cry Baby.
1990 movie.
So I'm just going to say dash, no dash. Amy Smart is dash. Eddie, no dash. Sharon, no dash. Amy says it's one of her favorites. I own it.
Okay. So we have one with a dash and two without.
Yes.
Eddie says Grease ripoff.
It's a different story. No, I just think it's inspired by. Dash for Eve Me Buford 313. No dog for Tobin.
Sharon says definitely no dash.
Sandy?
Yes, Teresa.
No dash for me. I've seen this movie about maybe 10 times. No dash.
Well, for me, it definitely had no dash. And no dash for Quantum as well. But it does now.
100% no dash.
It's happened through the quantum reality. It changed.
And don't worry, I have residue for those of you that remember it like we do with no dash.
Anti-polio picnic.
Yeah, that's another sync. It's another sync. Of course, I find something going on, and inside the show, this is from the this screenshot is actually from the play version. It's talking about vaccines. That's just weird because we're talking about vaccine. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to get this.
Wasn't the polio?
We're just gonna stop there.
Didn't everybody in the '60s have to get a polio vaccine?
It was different. They actually were. They really wanted it. Like in the beginning, people were actually paying Jonas Salk, sending him money in the mail to get it because it was hard to get it first because there wasn't enough of them made yet. And people would wait in lines for like long lines because they all wanted it. They wanted their kids to have it. So here's residue of Crybaby, no dash.
So is it? So it's a play that's been turned into a movie, or a movie that turned into a play?
I don't know. I always assumed the movie was first. I could be wrong though.
Look at that. That looks like something on Amazon.
It is on Amazon, yes.
Clearly, they list it without the dash, and then if you look in the image, it's with the dash. Crybaby print T-shirt. Wow.
And that's
Well,
the close up.
Thank you for doing the close up on that, Sandy. Because my mouse only goes so far.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for doing that.
Hey, Mandela, welcome.
And what is this movie about, Sandy? Can you give us a brief synopsis?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
But we have it. We have it in this house. But I've never seen it. Joey owns it. Well, I think it may have actually been his ex-wife's. And he just and got all the DVDs.
People even got tattoos of it. Look at that.
But I was a big Johnny Depp fan. I remember this movie coming out.
Is that Millhouse?
I just wasn't a fan of, huh? Yeah, it's
That looks like
Millhouse.
Millhouse from The
So there's
Simpsons.
tattoos on both sides. One has a dot, not a dash. And the other one has no dash.
Well, there ain't no crybabies in here, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Since politics have gotten bad the last few years, I was previously a fan of Johnny Depp. There's a lot of people I'm not fans of anymore.
Hey, Sandy?
I'm here.
Okay, hang on. Amy says a good girl gets messed up with a bad boy crybaby, and he goes to jail, but she loves him anyway. That's what it's about.
So if you took Grease and made the story about Rizzo and Kaniki instead of Sandy
Edward
and Danny.
Fingerhands. It's on YouTube.
See, I've seen the cover of it many times. We used to have a DVD tower type deal, and I've seen the cover, but I've just never watched it.
All right. Sandy, you seem to have left out a number 9, so which one should I go for next?
I left out number 9? No, I didn't. Number 9 would be the Mickey, the Sorcerer Mickey.
Okay, Sorcerer Mickey. Okay.
Yeah. That was
okay. Have they seen this one yet?
You haven't.
I haven't seen this one.
You haven't seen this one.
Okay.
And so, I wish that fake news person was still here, because I'm pretty sure this one would have gotten them. All right, guys. If you saw this, answer what you originally answered. I do not want the color of the hat. Do not say blue end. I want to know just the color of the stars and the moons on his hat. What color do you remember the stars and the moons on Sorcerer Mickey's hat? Yellow for Eddie Von King. Brian, what do you remember?
I remember white.
Okay, so does my mom. Mustard Seed of Faith remembers yellow. Yellow stars for Brian Johnson. Yep, just the stars and moon. Yes, Teresa, just the stars and moon.
I was white. Blue
white
and then
for
white.
Teresa. Yep. Yeah, I don't want you saying the name of the hat, the color of
the hat.
Just the moon and stars.
We have one that says I don't know. That's fine.
okay. Yellow, white for Sharon McDonald. That's fine.
We have predominantly everyone says yellow. There are a couple of people that remember white. I don't want mine influencing you guys. What I feel it was.
Brian,
okay,
it's okay. Let them go with yellow and white. It's fine. It's okay. If you don't know, it's okay.
All right. So what is it in this timeline or reality?
Well, we're going to get to that, but there's a slide first. So I can't see it yet. I'm going to delay.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah. All right. This is yet another Mandela variation effect. Because you can find images, toys, cartoons, tattoos, costumes, even the characters in the park with white and gold, sometimes at the same time. Like there's the image in the middle, the moons are yellow and the stars are white. It says color shifting like the hat in the MGM studios. So white and gold is the current reality, both. But in my past, it was mainly yellow. But I do remember white as well because it's both in this reality. So you may have seen white, you may have seen yellow. So it's okay, Sharon McDonald, for yellow and white. But that's not the issue. The issue is the stars are now blue.
And the moon too? The moon is blue?
They're blue. In the film, it's blue. And they were never blue in my past. Officially, it's called a light aqua blue. I've never seen them blue in my life.
Is anyone else blown away by this one?
And here we have like actual cells from the movie. That's on the right and the left. We have toys. We have figurines. And they're all using blue.
Oh.
Here's slippers. I mean, these are official Disney products, guys. Mickey costume, a ball toy.
I want to see the audience reaction.
A purse.
Yeah, Sharon, we're talking about the color of the stars and the moon on Mickey's hat. Brian Johnson says blue stars crazy. Brian Johnson says never. Brian Johnson says blown away. Mustard Seed of Faith says I am. Any pictures or residue? So that's what we're going to get to, Uriel.
Eve, I don't understand what you're talking about. Honest to God, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Sharon says, "LOL, yellow was my first choice. I had a dual memory, but never blue."
Oh yeah, I have residue coming up, Quantum. Don't worry. And there's another question coming up too, but it's only going to affect those that have been to the parks.
There's tattoos. There's sneakers. Looks like shoes.
A dessert from Disney World. The top left corner is a dessert.
Wow.
That they sell in Disney World. Earrings are on the bottom left.
So the residue is out there. The Pops has it white too.
Which one?
The Pop, those Pop dolls.
The Pop has white and they have blue. So one of them is white and one of them is blue now.
You want to read that one, Sandy or Teresa?
So even the Sorcerer's hat that used to stand as the centerpiece of Disney's MGM Hollywood Studios has been both silver and gold.
That is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they do that? Why would they do that?
Effect. All right, so here's question number 2. Again, It's only going to affect you if you've been there. And speaking of the MGM Hollywood Studios Sorcerer's hat, that was the centerpiece of the park through 2015. How do you remember the ears? If you don't know, it's understandable. It's okay. I'm going to wait to see if anyone knows it, Brian. So wait 1 minute.
Wait. Okay.
Yeah, wait a minute. I just want to see if anyone knows. So if you don't know it, please write "I don't know" in the chat so I can get a gauge of how many people don't know. Oh, I've never ever seen that, Eve. I've never had that. I've never had a vaccine in a liquid form like that. I've only had shots. Oh, that's crazy.
What is it?
Eve originally asked, let me scroll up. Eve originally asked, what was the pink stuff they squirted in your mouth? I thought that was the polio vaccine. Prior to that, she wrote, let me find it. Give me a minute. She was asking about the gun that they squirt in your mouth. Asking what vaccine it was. I don't see it. Where's the original one? 1 year they put it on a sugar cube. Interesting. Yellow was my first choice. Oh, that's the stars. Sharon, what do you remember? See, I've never had a vaccine that wasn't a shot. Brian, have you?
What?
Have you ever had a vaccine as a kid that wasn't a needle?
I have not.
Interesting. Mandanimal says polio had oral and injection. So most likely, yes, it was probably polio. All right. So the question is, Sharon, those red circles on the screen. This is the hat that was in MGM Hollywood Studios in Orlando, Florida. That's where the ears are. I took them out of the picture. What did the ears look like? Oh, 5 holes. I've never seen the gun, but my mom has the mark on her arm from that. It's like a big round scar.
Yes, I remember a lot of people that had the polio vaccine. They had looked like a bullseye on their shoulder.
Yeah.
Did your mom ever get one, Sandy? Did she get the polio vaccine?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Did they force people to get it, or they wanted to get it?
No, people wanted to.
Really? Did they mention any side effects with getting it?
There were some incidents.
Yeah, I just got my second dose of Pfizer, and I'm fine. I know a lot of people had some negative reactions, but I'm okay. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. I'm guessing round. That would be a great guess.
So you remember, Sandy, you remember them being gold and solid rounded tubes?
Yes, I remember. So the bottom of this hat, see that gold round tube? I remember the ears being like this, made of like this type of material, like gold and rounded. And the next image is residue of what I remember. There's a snow globe, there's pins, there's magnets, there's even a toy. This is how I remember the Mickey ears.
Wow. You sure they didn't take them down?
I'm sure. I checked.
Really? Okay.
The only thing they changed was the color of the moon and the stars.
So is this something that you drew on?
Huh?
Did you draw that on there, like Photoshop?
No, that's the ears now.
Oh. Wow.
The ears are now squared off, so they're still round, but they're squared. They're not rounded. They're white. They light up, and then they have gold etched streaks with stars inside of it. And that it's an improvement upon what it was in my past, but it's a definite change. It did not look like this. Not in my past.
It's just weird, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Eve, tubular.
Tubular. Yes, that's a word I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah. But look, like this is an improvement. It's beautiful when it's lit up, but it didn't light up in my past, and it didn't look like that. It just didn't.
How close? I'm curious, Sandy. How close did you get to it? Were you like within 100 feet of it, or how close?
Standing underneath it. Brian, you could walk right under it.
And it was solid to you all the time, right?
Yes.
Wow. All right. So our next.
Wait a minute. Let me clarify. They are round, but they're squared. So if you imagine a circle, but a circle made of square. Like if you take Play-Doh and make a long piece of Play-Doh that's a square shape. A long square shape. And then you twist it into a circle. That's what the ears are now. It's very hard to explain. They're squared off. It's not a round tube shape.
Okay. So
I know that would be great if I don't have any pictures. Our photo albums were destroyed in the flood. I have like maybe 7 or 8 pictures of myself total from the time I was born until like 2015.
Well, that's how a lot of us are, Sandy. We didn't have the digital phones and digital cameras back then, you know.
Yeah, but Brian,
And most of my pictures and videos of when I was a kid got lost in the flood.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I have very few things to remember from. So
same.
Yeah. So this one I found I had talked about this, I think, on the show quite a while ago, probably back in 2018 or 2017. But what does AIDS stand for? I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Don't look it up, please. AIDS stands for what? What's the acronym AIDS stand for? I want to hear from the chat.
Oh my gosh, it sounds so horrible, sister in Christ. Can't imagine holding down a child like that. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Eddie seems to remember, and so does. Let's see, autoimmune deficiency syndrome. That's what I'm seeing.
Mustard Seed of Faith remembers acquired immune deficiency syndrome, which also is not right.
Right. It's not
immune deficiency.
Wow. So we're getting different responses here. But
no one has given me the correct terminology yet.
And I thought we knew AIDS. We knew this in the 80s. It was.
Yep.
My uncle got it through blood transfusions. He got AIDS, and he died.
Horrible.
Sadly.
Sorry, Brian.
It's okay.
Mandanimal says acquired was added later. We'll have to look into that. All right,
Okay,
Brian,
so
let's tell them the answer because no one has it.
okay, you guys might be a little bit stunned to see this, but it's always been acquired immunodeficiency syndrome.
So 3 words, not 4.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. I remember autoimmune.
I gotta hide that one, Eve. I'm sorry. Family friendly. Sorry.
Well, was that her reaction?
No. It was a bad word. That's all.
Oh, okay. Thank you for doing that, Sandy.
Yeah, no problem.
In your past, was Magic Johnson only diagnosed with HIV, or did he also progress to having AIDS? That's the next question.
Yes, guys, in the chat, which did Magic Johnson have? Now, if he only had HIV for you, write HIV. If he had AIDS at any time, write AIDS. Even if, because HIV progresses to AIDS. So if you remember him at all having AIDS, then write AIDS, not HIV. I want to know what you remember in the chat. HIV or AIDS. Brian, look at the chat. Remember when I said there's a reality? Look.
Okay, let's take a look. Where are we at? Autoimmune deficiency syndrome for me. I'm with you, Sharon. So Uriel says he had AIDS. A bunch of people said had AIDS. Had AIDS and beat it. HIV never got AIDS. I'm with Eddie on that one. HIV, thought he was on the cocktail.
And you see that, Brian? AIDS and beat it. See? See what I mean?
Yeah, no one's ever beaten AIDS. That's the thing. Once you get AIDS, that's it. And if you sleep with someone and you have AIDS, you're a killer. You really are putting someone else to death, pretty much.
Well, that's not always true. Magic Johnson's wife never got it.
Really? How in the world?
All right, well, let's keep going because there's another question I have to ask them. So let's keep going because apparently this is a big Mandela effect because it is for me and it looks like it's going to be for the chat too. So let's keep going. So in my past, he never got AIDS. It was only HIV. Okay?
Yeah, me too.
The current reality is he never got AIDS. But there is, it says, but I'm finding a lot of residue, and you guys are confirming, saying he had AIDS. So I'm curious what you guys remember, and you're telling me, so thank you. Magic Johnson, infected with AIDS virus. He's never had AIDS, guys. In this reality, he's only had HIV.
That's what I remember.
Right. Okay, keep going. Me too. So here's a residue of AIDS. Yeah, Brian, you want to read some?
Where's Teresa? Is she there?
Yeah, but it's going to be easier for you to read it because it's small, Brian. That's why I'm telling you.
Okay, I figure we could test out. Teresa, would you like to test out those new glasses? And you want to go ahead and read some of this right here?
Brian?
Yeah?
Brian, can you read it?
Yeah, go ahead. You want to read it?
Okay, zoom in just a little bit more.
Okay.
Just a little bit more. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Basketball player Magic Johnson, at 1991, at age 32, retires. He has AIDS and possibly a few years to live, 8 to 10 years. Fast forward to 2007, 18 or 16 years later.
16,
I'm sorry. 16 years later, and he is still alive. How and why?
All right, that's
medical advances and knowledge of evolution.
All right, Teresa, you could now just the title on the left.
The what?
The title on the left.
Myths about HIV and HIV. Magic Johnson is career saying he has AIDS infection.
I meant the top left, Brian.
That is the top left. Magic Johnson ends his career
Yes,
saying
what it
he has
says.
AIDS infection.
He has AIDS.
What it
Yeah.
says.
Okay, now the bottom right. Time magazine.
The magazine.
Mhm.
Okay, I can't see that. Zoom in,
Brian,
please.
you read that. It's
Okay,
too
he's living with the AIDS
Yeah.
virus, and science is offering new hope for others.
So these are all things reporting that he has AIDS. He's never had AIDS. Only HIV. All right, guys. Next question. True or false? Magic Johnson. I used HIV here because it's current reality, and that's what I remember. Magic Johnson is the only person who was ever cured of HIV, and I'm telling you, until recently, because now there are people who are cured of HIV, like lots of them. Well, a few people have been cured of HIV. So, Brian, go back. I'm waiting for answers.
Oh.
Well, he gave it away now. It was big as
I'm
day on
sorry.
the screen. Wow. All right, guys. I still want you to answer. Do you remember Magic Johnson being cured of AIDS? Yes or no? I mean, HIV or AIDS. Either one. Do you remember Magic Johnson being cured? Lurk Lerner said he died. Still alive. Okay, Eve says yes. Eddie Von Keen says no. David Morris says no. It's okay to not know. Mandanimal says no. Dean Johnson says no. See, it was big for me. In school, we were all talking about it. In my past, he was cured. He was the first person to be cured of HIV. But in a lot of your pasts, he had AIDS, not HIV. And AIDS is currently incurable. So he wouldn't be cured if he had AIDS. Lurk Lerner says, I remember his supposed shill cure as well as his passing. Lurk Lerner, that shill cure is not the reason why they're claiming people remember it. I didn't even hear about it, to be honest with you. That's researching this is the first time I heard about it. Correct. Correct, Eddie, because there's a gene that's resistant to HIV.
Really?
There is. And that's what that's why some people have been cured. We're gonna get on to that. All right, we can go on. Mark Lerner says double memory.
Can I go ahead and go on to the next?
You can. So in my past, he was cured, and it was like this big deal. There have been a handful of people cured of HIV in the past decade via bone marrow transplant and stem cells. That's the new procedure, is like a stem cell transplant. Lurk Lerner says his death as well as his cure was a super big deal. Now, here's a meme I found. Cured HIV before it was cool. But the Mandela effect for me is Magic Johnson was never cured of HIV. I remember it being cured being a huge deal at the time. For him to have never been cured is 100% a Mandela effect for me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the truth?
He's never been cured, and he's never had AIDS. He's only had HIV. But wait, here's the main excuse. Hold on.
Yes.
So there are many articles asking why people believe Magic Johnson was cured of HIV. Like, that shouldn't exist. But it does. It's everywhere. Why do people still think Magic Johnson doesn't have HIV? They are all attributing this false memory to his wife, Cookie, saying he was healed of HIV, referring to his viral load numbers, which many of us wouldn't have understood when we were younger. So because his viral load numbers were low, he was essentially in remission. And that's what she was saying, but she said that he was healed. But I don't remember her saying anything. I
No, I
remember
don't remember that either.
articles and things like that, and the news saying he was cured. So here's some got HIV, didn't get AIDS. I used to have AIDS. No, he didn't. Then I took an arrow to the knee. Don't know if Magic Johnson is cured from AIDS, never had AIDS, or he secretly made a healthier clone. The cure for AIDS? Like, there's so much. This is weird. So, this is frequently asked questions. Is it true that someone has been cured of HIV? It is true that a few people appear to have been cured of HIV. 2 people have undergone bone marrow transplants for cancer that left them with immune systems resistant to the HIV virus. More recently, a study showed that a woman who was infected with HIV in '92 may be the first person cured of the virus without a bone marrow transplant. Additionally, 63 people in the study controlled the infection without drugs. HIV was sequestered in the body in such a way that it could not reproduce. The findings suggest that these people may have achieved a functional cure. And below it says, should we call it a cure? The Mississippi child who's no longer HIV positive. So there's all these people that have been essentially cured of HIV. And this is new for me as well.
I mean, I guess that's a good thing because HIV's not running around rampant,
Right.
you know?
First woman may be cured of HIV, so she was the one with the stem cells, not a bone marrow transplant. I am the Berlin patient. My name is Timothy Ray Brown, and I am the first person in the world to be cured of HIV. And that to me is a Mandela because it was Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
And he was cured with the HIV-resistant DNA bone marrow transplant. Hey, top second person cured of HIV thanks to stem cell transplant. That was March 11th, 2020. Here's Magic Johnson doesn't really have HIV. And it says here the persistent belief that Johnson either never had HIV or has been cured of the disease. Like, this is a thing, guys. I don't know what to tell you if you guys didn't know this, but this is my reality. He was cured. But even in all those truths, there's no cure for HIV AIDS yet. Yet I just showed you that 2 people are cured. And while Magic's wife Cookie once told Ebony that her husband was healed of HIV, that wasn't some sinister slip of the tongue. And it's talking about the viral load.
Wow.
It was undetectable. So here's AIDS again. AIDS entered the games, for those of you that remember him having AIDS. 20 years. Why did he need to do this? 20 years after the Magic Johnson, I am not cured. Why would he need to do that?
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
What do you guys think about that one?
There is such. This is a Mandela. It's just all a jumbled mess. It's a mess. It's a mess.
I'm glad we saved that one for last because I think that one affects a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
So let's see. Do we have time for one caller?
Yeah,
or maybe
you want
2?
to caller? Guys, if you guys want to call in and tell us a personal sinking or like
Our Mandela fact. Our new Mandela
personal
fact.
Does anybody remember the number to call? I could post it in the chat.
Nope.
Yeah, right. It's in the chat. I don't know it.
I don't either, Brian. Sorry. I have a hard enough time remembering Sandy and yours' phone number. I have while they're on speed dial. Hell, I hardly remember my number. You can do call-ins, Brian?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yep. Let me post it in the chat.
Oh, no more.
So there it is.
All right. Where's it at? And say it out loud. 850-764-1552. If you want to call in, we're all here. Don't be shy. No, we just wait. Okay. Brian?
Yep. Anyone, you can please call in.
Don't be shy. Call in. I think it's a free call, isn't it?
Should be.
850-764-1552.
Here we go. We have a caller.
Yay.
Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, this is LJ. I sometimes call Dan's show.
Oh, hi, LJ.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
I found this a long time ago, and I haven't looked at it recently, so I don't know if it's changed more. But it's lyrics, and I don't remember what year this song came out. It's The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. But I was very bored summertime, and I actually memorized the song just out of boredom. So I really knew the lyrics to this. And now this has been some months ago that I wrote down these changes, so we can see if it's changed again. But he was on his way home from Candletop. He was 2 weeks gone, and he thought he'd stop at where? Where did he stop? And have him a drink before he went home to her. Where did he get his drink?
I don't know the song, but I have the lyrics up, and I'm going to look for residue of what you remember after we were asking the chat.
In the chat, if they remember this. This is an old song. This is back in the 70s, I think.
I'm gonna put the question in the chat for them. Give me 1 second. Okay, so he was on his way home from ?
He was on his way home from Candletop. He was 2 weeks gone, and he thought he'd stop at where and have him a drink before he went home to her before, but they say before he went home to her.
I'm copying the lyrics and putting it so that he thought he'd stop at blank. That's what you want to know.
Yeah, at blank, before he went home to her.
So I'm putting the blank, guys. Fill in the blank.
So is this a song change?
Yeah, these are lyric changes in this song. I'm going to have to see if I can remember them all in context, because all I really noted down was the new thing and what I remember. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 changes as far as I remember them in the song.
I wanna look to see if I can find residue, but I don't want you to tell the chat without getting some answers.
Then the next change will be they either say whoa or low, like when they're just making sounds. So is it whoa or low?
In the same song?
Yeah.
All right, well,
yeah.
so far we only have one answer.
What the lyrics, let's see, 2 weeks gone, and he thought he'd stop at Williams. Oops, sorry, almost said. At some place to have him a drink before he went home to her. Andy Warlow said hello, and he said hi. What's doing blank? What's doing low or what's doing low? That's where that belongs.
Well,
Andy Warlow said hello, and he said hi. What's doing? Whoa or low? What's doing?
well, right now we only have one answer, and it's from Eve, and she says Candle Rock.
Oh, they think it's Candle Rock instead of Candle Top?
Yes.
Okay, well, we can check that. I remember it as Candle Top, but that could be one. We can check whether it's top or rock. And then there's, he said hi, what's doing, either whoa or low. He said, sit down, I've got some bad news. And then does the bad news, that's going to hurt, and it's going to hurt? Sit down, I've got some bad news, and it's going to hurt, or I've got some bad news, that's going to hurt.
I don't know if anyone knows songs. No one's putting any answers. So let me
Very
ask you
popular at
this.
the time. I would think people my age and older would know it because it was you heard it everywhere all the time. I think top. Somebody else remember Candle Top and Whoa. They remember Candle Top and Whoa. Okay, so we have that.
What's the word that you remember?
I remember
Been 2 weeks gone, and he thought he'd.
where he stopped. I remember Williams. And he thought he'd stop at Williams and have him a drink before he went home to her. Now it's Webb's. Webbs. Webbs. Webbs instead of Williams. Andy Warlow said hello, and he said hi. What's doing low? I remember low. Now it's whoa. Sit down, I got some bad news. I remember, and it's like but it was shortened, and it's going to hurt. Now it's that's going to hurt. Sit down, I've got some bad news. That's going to hurt.
Brian, can you show this on the screen? Can you see the show?
What is it?
Out there, can you see the show?
One person remembers that's going to hurt, and they also remember Webb. So they remember it the way they're saying it is now. Now, I memorized this at the time it was first out, so I don't know if...
I just found residue. I'm sending it to Brian to put on the screen.
If they can say whether when they learned the song, like if they learned it way back when it first came out, or if they became familiar with it like later. He said, sit down, I got some bad news, and it's going to hurt. Let's see.
I found 2 pieces of residue, which I'm sending to Brian.
He says, Joe, your bride ain't home tonight.
Can you see the screen?
Joe, your bride ain't home tonight. Or does he say, your young bride ain't home tonight without the name Joe? I'll tell you that I remember it, Joe, your bride ain't home tonight. The way it is now doesn't have the name Joe in it. It just says, your young bride ain't home tonight.
Oh, wow, it's big to take the whole name out. But can you see the screen? Oh, Brian, put it back.
Yeah, then, let's see.
Wait, did you see the screen? That's what I was trying to tell you. Brian.
She's been gone. She's been seeing that Amos boy stuff.
Brian's
I
fast
think
with it.
this is where it's toward the end of the song. They hung my brother before I could say the tracks he saw while on his way to Andy's house and back that night were mine. So did he say they hung my brother before I could say, or did they say they hung, I have the word boy, they hung that boy, they took out, it's not her brother anymore, now
It's just boy?
Yep.
All right, did you see the screen? Because Brian...
Brother, before I could say the tracks he saw while on his way to Andy's house and back that night were mine.
Are you asking her or me?
Her. I'm trying to ask her if she saw the residue because you're so fast with it. I don't think she saw it.
They caught my brother or boy before I could say, or did they say they hung my brother before I could say? I remembered brother before I could say the tracks they saw while on his way to Andy's house and back that night were mine. But now they haven't hung him. They just caught the boy instead of hung her brother. And then there's either a so
I
or
don't think she can hear me.
I remember so, and now it's Ann.
Can you hear Sandy?
Not really. What's she saying?
To look at the screen for the residue of the first
Yeah,
one.
there's residue on the screen. She's saying there's residue on the screen.
He was on his way home from Candle Top. That's the way I remember it. Been 2 weeks gone, and he thought he'd stop at Williams. That's right. And have him a drink before he went home to her. Andy Wallace? Oh no, Wardlow. That's a change. Andy Wardlow, not Wall. And it was still Wardlow when I looked up the lyrics.
Okay, so you're saying Andy Wallace.
I've never seen or heard Wallace. And said hello, and he said hi. What's doing? Whoa, which I remember low. Seth, sit down. Oh my. It was said sit down. Now it's Seth. Seth, sit down. And it was still that way when I looked it up 2 months ago. I got some bad news. It's going to hurt. Okay, so that's not that. See, and it was changed to that. Yeah. In the lyrics I looked up a couple months ago. I looked up the official lyrics. He said, I'm your best friend, and you know that's right. Okay, that's as far as I can see on the screen.
Yeah, Brian, it's an image, so it's not like that was just like an image in Google search. I didn't take a screenshot. That's just the way it came. Brian, show her the other one. The other one is
there's.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay.
Show her the other one, Brian. The other
I'm
one's
looking
got
at it.
more.
Did you send
I'm
it?
back. Thing was on the stove. Okay. Oh, here we go.
Show her the other image, Brian. The one you just took down.
Okay, there's another image that I want to share with you. Okay, tell me if you see that up on your screen.
Not yet.
Give it about 10 more seconds.
Okay, then he either was sneaking through the backwoods quiet as a mouse, or he was slipping through the backwoods quiet as a mouse. I remember slipping through the backwoods, but now it's sneaking through the backwoods.
I'm gonna have to listen to this one. What is it? The day or no? It's the night the lights went out in Georgia.
That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia.
So
that's the night that they caught an innocent man. You don't trust your soul to no backwoods Southern lawyer. The judge in the town's got blood stains on his hands. If that helps I'm not a good singer, but if that helps anybody remember, oh yeah, I remember that song, you know.
Yeah. People are remembering.
Yeah, now this says, but your young bride ain't home tonight. And I remembered it, Joe, your bride ain't home tonight. Since you've been gone, she's been seeing that Amos boy Seth, that's right. Well, he got mad, and he saw red, and Andy said, boy, don't you lose your head, that's right. Because to tell you the truth, I've been with her myself. Yeah, that's right.
So I wish I could help. I don't know the song at all.
It's a big story song.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know the song.
But you can see that between me and the chat, there are discrepancies.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And there are discrepancies between the lyrics you're showing, and I looked up the official lyrics 2 months ago, and there's discrepancies between those two.
I agree.
So
this one is a big effect for you?
It is, because I memorized the song, you know, just for something to do. I would do that every once in a while. I would just memorize something. Not real often, but just once in a while. And this was interesting enough, or had enough different words in it, that I bothered to memorize it. Somebody thinks there was a 60s and a 70s version. I don't remember this being out in the 60s. I mean, I was a kid in the 60s, but it was, I think this was out in, I don't know how old I was. I don't know if I was in junior high I know we went on a trip that year. I was out in California at my aunt's house on a porch swing singing this, and I had memorized it, but I don't know what year that was. You can probably look up the year that it came out.
Oh, it was 1970. I just had it. Give me a minute.
1970. Wow.
No, 1973. 1973.
Oh, 73. That's the year of the big gas shortages, right?
That would have been junior high school for me. Like maybe 8th grade.
Didn't they have gas shortages in 73?
It got played all the time. Yes, it did. It was one of those songs that they played way too much. Whether you liked it or hated it, they played it too much.
Wow.
Vicki Lawrence wasn't the original. She recorded it also, but I don't think it was her hit originally. I looked that up too, who it was. I think here's somebody saying Donna Fargo. I think that might. See, I'm forgetting myself, and I just looked this up a few months, 2 or 3 months ago. I was looking up things that, like, I was actually went looking for Mandela effects, like what would I remember, and I saw airplane changes, so I went back to an airplane that I actually flew in to see, and I called Dan's show about the airplane. Well, it was back at that time. I looked this up because I thought I would know this song, and I found all these discrepancies. But I don't know. There's something about lyrics that creeps me out, creeps other people out, that I put it off. And so now I'm on your show instead of his show.
It's okay. What changes with airplanes did you find?
There are discrepancies between both official versions of the lyrics, the ones I looked up and the ones you have, plus the chat and me remember different things. Some remember the same, some remember different. Yeah, it seems to be all over the place. And it's a lot of changes for one song. There's like 8 or 9 changes between the ones I had written down and more that popped up while we were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the engines were on the wing. Yep, that's right. The thing that the airplane thing for me was in little airplanes like Cessnas, because I flew in a Cessna. I got to fly it myself for about 15 or 20 minutes because my brother was a pilot. But anyway, all the tails on the little airplanes look way too big to me now. I could swear the tails were much smaller back then on little airplanes. So that was something, an anchor memory that I had, and it looks different to me.
I agree with you on that, 100%. 100%. Airplanes are so messed up now. So messed up.
Yeah, like the engines are like too far forward now.
Yeah, I sort of remember about airplanes. The first time I flew in on a jet, I was about 8 years old. My great-grandmother had passed away in California, and we live in Pennsylvania, so we flew out. My mom and I flew. My brother and my dad drove. So we got there in time. My mom and I got there in time for the funeral. And anyway, I was bored on the airplane, and we had a window seat looking out over the wing. I drew a picture of the wing because I was bored. So you can tell what I do when I'm bored. I drew the picture of the wing. Yeah, and the engine was not. It was basically just the wing, no engine in the picture because the engine wasn't sticking out far enough to see it.
Yep.
From a seat right above the wing. Could not see the engine. Or I would have drawn it in the picture, and I know I didn't draw an engine in the picture.
Mm-hmm. I know. That's awesome. It's awesome that you did that.
I mean, I don't have the picture anymore, but I remember having, even if you don't have a picture anymore, when you draw something, you remember it more, even if you no longer have the picture,
Yeah, I agree. But like, there's been a lot of changes to the wings and the body, the wheels. There's so many changes. It's crazy. I don't even know how they fly anymore. Oh,
So anyway, that's the night the light went out in Georgia, and it drastically changed.
There's a lot of songs that's changed. It's not just that one. It's been affected.
Oh, I know it is.
So many songs.
That was the one I knew about because I had memorized it.
You had memorized it, yes.
Yeah.
So what? How do you feel like when you're watching these people cover that song? Are there any ones that are true to what you remember? Like any of the people that are covering the song?
And this is the first time I've brought it up. I wrote this down months ago, and I was eventually going to bring it up on Dan's show, but I kept sort of procrastinating it since you had a number. I thought, oh, I'll call in here.
Yeah.
But this is the first time I've talked about it. But I can see it's shifting because even the two official versions don't agree. And then the chat remember it all over the place. There's a couple of people that remember it. Everybody seems to have a different version. And Vicki Lawrence did come out with it, but she wasn't the original. Emily Lou Harris, I forget myself now who it is. It was the original singer on there, but yeah, it's just so.
Well, yeah, that one seems to resonate with you.
Right, because I memorized. That's why. I went looking for it. I thought, I have that song memorized. I will know if it has changed. So I went looking for it, and yes, and it's not just, like a lot of songs, there's only one or two changes. This is like, 9 different changes. It's a lot for one song.
Yeah, it's not just like it's one change. It's multiple changes in the song. Anyways, thank you for sharing that one. Is there any other effects that you that seem to resonate with you?
I don't know. I follow Dan's show all the time, so like there's a lot like brought up on there. This is something I did talk about on his show, but I find this bizarre above other things. And that is that the land seems to be sloping up toward the south everywhere. I saw somebody on YouTube mention this. He said, go outside your house, no matter where you live, and check out the land and see if it isn't higher on the south than the other direction. So I tried that, and I live in everything here is a hill. So I got like on top of a hill, and yes, there's hills everywhere, so the land is sloping up on all sides. But yeah, the south is higher on the south. And then I was watching I watched the RV channel, and they're out in various places in the United States, so it gave me an idea as to what's happening in other places. And like they would be maybe parked in front of the sunset, so okay, that's west, right? And I would just look at the picture, and they'd be kind of maybe in a flat area, like maybe they're in Arizona or a flat plain state or something. Anyway, and I was it's flipping up toward there now, and then I would figure out what direction that was. Okay, that's west, then the other way is east, so that makes this north, and that's doggone it, it's sloping up towards the south. And I checked this out and some hiker channels too. So I looked at it on some RV channels, some hiker channels. Anytime they gave a reference, so I could understand what direction they were going or what direction I was looking at. Every time the land was sloping up toward the south, and I called Dan's show, and they had the geography expert guy on there, and he started looking all over the world while I was on the air, and doggone it, it really is sloping up towards the south, like on other continents. But that just tops a lot of the other stuff that I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I haven't thought to look on the south.
What's that guy's name? Noble Nasty. And he said the thing is that the continents seem to be shifting north, so he thought it might be like a rebound effect. Like if everything's shoving north, it might lurch back south, and that it was just an idea he had off the cuff.
I understand. Shoving north?
Well, like everything's motion against, the northward motion. It was just a thought he had.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just strange. It's not normal for the land to be sloping upward, south, everywhere. Like I said, that almost makes it like the whole world is a hill, right?
Yeah. This reality gets stranger and stranger.
Go outside wherever you live and do a vista view and see if the land is going, what way does the land tend to go upward, if it tends to go upward at all.
Upward to the south.
I don't expect people to run outside right this minute, but
I'm gonna see if I can hear better if I listen to the show. So I'm gonna put my headphones in. See if it helps.
Anyway, we got time for one more caller. I wanted to thank you for coming on with us, and thank you for sharing your story and the two effects. I'm sure a lot of people were not aware of those.
I think they were great. I think it was a really good find. I mean,
yes,
even though I'm not affected by it, that's a lot of change to one song.
It really is.
That's really.
And guys, please give her a thank you for coming on. It really does take a lot to come on a show filled with lots of people.
It really does.
Thank you so much for coming on. Okay.
you're welcome.
And
please call in again. Please call in
I'm
again.
nerdy. I think that's why. I mean, it's like I'm more nerdy about the Mandela than I am upset by it. I mean, I am upset by it, but I'm more nerded out by it, like looking at it,
Man.
Yeah.
Well, join the club.
Yeah.
The nerd club. Yeah, I'm a nerd too.
I think we both are. Yeah. So we're all a little nerdy here.
Anyway, thank you again for calling in, and we'll have one more caller. Okay.
Okay.
Have a good evening.
You too.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, we got time for one more caller. Shall I post the number again?
Sure.
Teresa, do you want to call it out again? The number?
I forgot it.
I have it. It's 8.
I don't know what it is, Brian. I'm getting old.
764-1552.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Maybe I should have got a 1-800 number. It would have been easier to remember. 1-800-764.
No, don't do that. They'll think that 850-764-1552.
We got time for one more caller.
Come on, one more caller. Phenomenal. Why don't you call in? Freeland.
Let's not pressure people to call in, Teresa.
Hey, Teresa, why don't you call in? I'm kidding.
I can't. I guess I could on my cell phone, but I don't know if my phone will let me call in to the number. Anybody?
Come on, guys. We want to hear your story. What are your hard-hitting Mandela effects? If you want to talk about any synchronicities you've had recently, any big news that you want to share with your Mandela effect family, we're here. Oh, we got a caller. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Oh, hi, Brian.
Yes, hi. Who is speaking?
This is Preliminal.
Hey, Preliminal.
Hey, Preliminal.
Good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you
Hey,
too.
Wow.
Man, it's been a while.
Yay.
It's been a while.
How are you?
Good. I hope all is well. I just calling just because you needed someone to call in, and I'm wondering what. I mean, I could talk about a lot of different things.
Yeah. So what's going on in your world? You know.
Well, the past 5 years have certainly been interesting, to say the least. Is the main theme of the show the things that really hit us the hardest in the changes?
That seems to be it, but you know, I don't want to put something. I don't want to put a fence. I don't want to put a fence around any particular thing.
Sure.
If you want to talk about, you know, something else Mandela related, that's fine.
Sure. There is a change in the galaxy recently, and this was brought up by Matthew Reed, and he pointed out that there's now a Cygnus Orion arm. And for me, there was never a Cygnus. It was just Orion arm. There was no Cygnus Orion arm. Cygnus was a separate thing.
Yes. I think you're right. I think you're right.
Other than that, that's a recent one. Things that mainly for me, the things, you know, back in 2016 that I was shocked by were geographic changes, and I know you guys don't discuss the geo changes that much, but that's what really stood out to me. That's what convinced me a lot more than logo. I don't really look at product changes that much. And the JFK change was a real shocker. The car is different,
I spoke to somebody at a church function, and he swore up and down, like him and his wife. He remembers hearing on the radio that there were 4 people in the car. I asked him if he would do an interview with me, and he said, sure, but I never heard back from him, you know. But he was adamant about it. He said, I don't care what you say. It was always 4 people in the car.
Yeah, it was for me too. And I saw the documentary so many times because it was an annual event on PBS through the 70s. And for some people, those who remember 6 or just don't remember either way. I watched it because it was always on. It was a regular thing on TV in the 70s, and it was just it was always black and white on a color TV. It was in black and white, and it was always 4 people. There was no bar going over the middle like there is now.
Nope.
And never once was there 6 people.
That in itself might be the number one way to explain the Mandela effect to people.
Yeah.
Besides the Berenstain Bears, that's a major one. That one affects everybody too.
And people that you ask before you show them the video, you should ask them, well, what do you remember? Both my brother and my father remembered 4, but then when they saw the video, it was like something went blank and they lost interest in the whole thing. Like they, it was cognitive dissonance, or they took a download, or something.
And this happened with you and your family, like
not all of them. Oh, in my family, yeah. They all remember us going to Disney World in Florida, and they insist. And I never was there. I never went there.
Uriel says Jackie killed her husband JFK. Go watch the video.
It does.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's a there's a shot that goes straight up through his head, while there's a simultaneous shot going through his back. So that is maybe simultaneous, like they had it planned right down to the minute or the second, and it was like a shoot at the second or something. I don't know, but it does look like Jackie, because something flashes from her hand, like she's tucking it away in the back seat under the top. If you look real close,
yeah, I know. I remember seeing it. It's like she's tucking
tucks it away, and then so wow, that what a terrible
gun in her purse. Sandy says, yeah, it does look like she killed her husband.
Yeah.
Now he cheated on her with Marilyn Monroe.
I don't know. I did
That's
hear
what I heard
about that. I don't know if it was it ever confirmed. I think that was more of a theory.
I don't really know if it's been confirmed, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah. That was a kind of a rumor.
Okay, we might have to look that one up. Scott.
Yeah,
Scott Garrison made a point in the chat.
Sure.
If only 4 people who drove,
Yeah. And the car immediately, the first time I saw it in 2016, it looked longer, like stretched. Like, whoa, the car looks weird now. And then I saw that bar over the middle.
Can I tell you what I remember?
Well, that's weird.
I don't remember Governor Connolly sitting in the same car with JFK and his wife. I remember them sitting in the car behind them.
Wow. Oh, that's interesting.
And there were the 2 Secret Service men sitting in front, and JFK and his wife were in the back.
Well, on the Suso channel, he showed something a couple of years ago with the car that's behind them is now sort of green. Like it was, to me, it was black, and there were never people there's now all these service guards standing on the side of the car that's behind them. Like if you look, there's video and photos of them standing, and it looks really awkward.
Really?
I don't remember that at all.
I'm gonna have to go look at that.
Remember the car behind them?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at the Zapruder film again.
Yeah. There's also photos too of the car that was following them, and it's a different color.
Okay, so here, Damien G says, Scott Garrison, many of us remember an agent driving the car, Connolly in the passenger seat, and Jackie and JFK in the back. His wife wasn't there for many of us.
No, she wasn't. I think I thought it was the governor.
I could have sworn it was him and his wife in the car behind. I mean, I could be wrong.
Could be. No, I don't.
But
don't remember that.
Okay, Damien says Connolly was always in the car for me. He got shot, and that's true. I guess
Interesting. Yeah, and I mean the Bible changes are there's a lot of that is very freaky, and but for me, I could go on and on about geography, like so many, because I'm a visual person. I kind of remember visual details, and all through grade school and middle school, there was always a world map on the wall, and I would stare at it while I was just kind of waiting through the boring classes. But so it kind of just that instilled, like I remember exactly how China was. It never had a separate nation of Mongolia on the top. That was all part of China. But I won't go into all that. But and family changes, like the Disney World trip, and they said they have photos, and we haven't looked at all the old family photos for a real long time. I would be shocked if they did find a photo of us in Florida at Disney World. But I insisted. I told them no, I was never there, and so that tells me a lot. Like this is a whole different history mystery is not the same here.
No, it's not.
That's fine.
I
That's
agree.
fine. If you have any question, I mean, I'm happy to talk about anything. If there's anything significant or something that you're seeing that you want, like, am I seeing? Maybe I'm seeing the same thing. What are you getting from all this? Are we in a?
I think Elon Musk, you know, he seems to believe strongly that we're in a simulation. There's a lot of people that kind of do.
That would explain it. We must be because the map is faulty and there's all these faulty glitches, and it's like someone was trying to replicate it, and then they switched us from the real Earth into this place.
I forget what movie I was watching, but there was some kind of movie where these people were waking up, but it was like it's like they were asleep and they were in a dream, but they were hooked up to this electrical equipment, you know, and therefore they were in the simulation.
Interesting, they're like a coma.
There's some kind of shared reality that we're in, like for us to have the same memories.
Yeah, and it's weird because some of us have different. You know, it seems like there's more than one Earth that we came here from, so that makes it. That puts another monkey wrench in the puzzle.
Is there a connection? This is my question.
Yeah.
And you don't have to answer; it's fine. But
sure.
Is there a connection between simulation and simulation theory and parallel universes?
Well, you know, it kind of makes me think maybe we were in a simulation before, like maybe the Earth that we thought was so natural and real was actually just one of, you know, several other simulations, other parallel Earths. So I mean, all along, you know, I never thought there was another Earth, you know, until this thing began.
Yeah, I never would have thought that either. I mean, stuff like that you usually hear about in the comic books, right, Patrick?
Right. It's right out of sci-fi for sure. And now here we are, and wow, it tests your faith, and it motivates you to.
I don't know if you ever follow speaking of comics, I don't know if you ever watched the Flash. It comes on CW.
Oh, I did see. Yeah, that's a good series. Yeah.
Do you remember when he wanted to fix everything by he wanted to bring his mom back, and I know this is not necessarily related to the Mandela effect, but he does something where he changes reality as we know it for everyone else.
I have to look that up. I haven't seen that episode.
I think it was at the end of season 2. He wanted to bring his mom back, and he did, but something else got sacrificed. So because he brought his mom back, something else happened.
Do you remember? That reminds me of Continuum. I think there was 3 seasons on Netflix. They took it off. It's no longer there. I watched that, and that's similar. Like the people that were the police were traveling back to capture some criminals that had traveled into the past, and then they would go back and forth. And so a police all these time traveling police were trying to capture these criminal time travelers. Really good series. If you haven't seen
and it's called Continuum. Is it a pretty recent one?
It was on about 3 years ago, and then they took it down. And I don't know why, because it was really good series. It came out in 2012. And
I'm gonna have to check that one out. Is it on Hulu or something like that?
It was on Netflix, and now it seems unavailable. I looked around. I couldn't find it, but I'm sure they'll bring it back somewhere.
That's the thing with Netflix. They'll have something like that.
Yeah.
I like that show Dexter for some reason.
Okay.
Not. I like he's the superhero side of it where he gets the bad guys. Okay, I get that.
Right.
They took that off of Netflix, and I was so mad. You know, when that happened.
And yeah, several others they've taken off. So
yeah, but I'm sure they'll bring some of the ones back. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll bring it back. Well, it's great to hear from you. I wish there was something I could say that's to encourage everyone that's going through this. I'm not like a humorous entertainer kind of guy. I'm more just level. I appreciate all of
Patrick,
research.
Patrick, what is your belief? Like how do you believe?
Yeah, my belief
do you believe in
is that
Jesus?
we were with God originally before we ever were born. You know, in our true form, we're spiritual beings. There's a veil that we don't remember who we were or what life is like in the spirit dimensions. It's very different than Earth. There's colors there that don't exist here. Everything's a lot more beautiful. There's no wars, and love is common sense in the heavenly realms. But here, because people are kind of born into competition and greed and divisions and confusion, and
it's like we're all getting some mixed up story somewhere, and half of it's not even true.
Right,
that's the lie, the great lie.
Right, because everyone has that inner knowledge, like they know, they have a conscience and they know right and wrong, and it's common sense. You don't really have to put it into a big Bible, but that helps to clarify things, or whatever spirituality a person finds true. I'm not going to judge them and say, I just try to put in my understanding of it, and I keep searching. I keep an open mind to how it all fits together. And I studied other beliefs. Before the Mandela effect, I was really studying Emanuel Swedenborg, who was a mayor scientist in Sweden in the 1800s. And he had an out-of-body experience. He was shown what the communities of heaven are like by an angel.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't go more into it than that, but just someone to check out Emanuel Swedenborg. And he's a prolific writer. He's written many books during his time. And that explained a lot of the symbolic meaning in the Bible that I never understood. Like, I always had so many questions, things that didn't make sense in the Bible. And then when I read his explanation of Adam and Eve, and it's like suddenly makes way more sense in his way he described it.
Now, was his I meant to ask you, was it like a written, or was it like a video he did on it, on the Adam and Eve?
It's written. It's ancient. I mean, these are books from the 1800s that he did in the 1800s in Sweden, and there are videos about it. English people that explain each of the books he did. One of them's called True Christianity. And I recommend him because I learned a lot from it, and it really jives with me. I think it might be great for anyone who's in doubt of Bible or thinking that he explains the things that seem like contradictions or paradoxes. And investigate, like someone to check out. And I read other stuff too. Mainly just attitude is very important.
Yes.
I think everyone is like, if a person has a radiant attitude, that's like the fruit of the tree. That's the evidence. If they have a positive spirit, they're not cynical. That's the evidence. Like you can tell right away.
Yeah.
If someone's got a real negative attitude, like, hey, something's wrong, man.
Yes, that's exactly the way someone I know, or you used to know in this case.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and you want to help them. You don't, if someone's generating hate, you don't hate them back because you can't go down to that level. All you can do is put in your encouragement and try to help them. And if they, in some cases you can't throw your pearls before they'll just trample over it. They won't understand. So
no, and it does take. I think. What is it that Bible verse that talks about entering the kingdom of God as a child, something like that?
Yeah.
You have to have like an innocent kind of mindset to.
You always want to keep that, and just try to and if there's something in your life that's bothering you, bring it to God. And people have all kinds of addictions and hang-ups. And nothing is too big for God. God can handle it. It's nothing new to Him.
You're absolutely right, Patrick. You hit the nail on the head.
All glory to God. I'm not going to take any credit. But thanks for having me on. I didn't know what I was going to talk about.
Thanks for calling in, Preliminal.
Yeah, Preliminal.
Thanks, you guys.
You always learn something new, and Patrick, you're part of Teresa's group. I see you do some posts in there quite frequently, so thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I post on there,
Yeah, and most of you guys in the chat, I'm sure you're familiar with Teresa Lynch's group, but I think, Teresa, did you just hit your 3-year mark?
Yeah, actually, I just had 3 years on May 4th.
Yep.
Oh, it's like 4. Okay. Yeah. Oh, great.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
Teresa.
Awesome show. I'm gonna let someone else call in, or you guys could wrap it up, or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Patrick, you have a wonderful evening. Everybody out there.
You too.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Prelim.
Andy, Teresa.
Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, Patrick.
Okay, take care.
Thank you.
All right,
God bless you.
Prelim.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Man, that was awesome.
Cool.
That was.
That's
it's
awesome.
so hard.
I'm
My
glad he
AirPod
called in.
died. I had to
Oh,
my
no.
AirPod died, and it's all like crackly. So the bad AirPod.
Man.
So I had to mute.
Aww.
I always feel bad saying goodbyes, and Patrick, he's pretty good at conversating. So, we could keep going on and on about Mandela effects and everything, and I'm glad that he was able to share his faith on here, in Jesus Christ, because I really do believe that we are. I kind of believe that we're in the end times. I hate to say it, but I mean, I really kind of do,
Mm-hmm.
and the way I feel about this with the Mandela effect and everything like that, I'm pretty certain in my mind that it is cause and effect caused by the devil himself, Satan. I think it's his doing, or his emissaries. That's my belief. So my last words of the evening to you guys will be to you don't have to go through a church. You can talk to God through Jesus Christ. Tell him You know, tell him you're sorry for your sins. Tell him you want him to take care of your issues and problems, and lay everything at Jesus' feet. Okay, because no matter what happens, and this is something I've come to realize, no matter what happens, the world can change all around you, but the one thing that stays constant is Jesus Christ. And
Agreed.
you know,
Those are very true words.
yes, and when you have that close relationship with Him, everything else seems to fall in place. So, once again, I want to thank Preliminal for coming on, and also
LJ.
the
LJ.
other caller. What was her name,
LJ.
Sandy? What was her name?
LJ.
L what?
LJ.
LJ. Thank
What's
you,
her
thank
first
you.
name?
LJ. Thanks, LJ,
What
for
is
coming on.
LJ?
Man, it's been an awesome night, you guys. We'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, we'll have a show next Sunday, right, Sandy? If
Yeah.
Teresa.
And don't
Yes,
forget, Sandy's going to be
We-
on. Sandy, are you going to be on Monday or Tuesday?
I don't know. I won't know till Monday if it's Monday or Tuesday. It's usually Mondays. It's only Tuesday if something's happening.
Yeah.
It'll be Dan's birthday show.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You got to do it for Dan's birthday. That's a special day. Get your party hat on, Sandy, too. Don't forget your party hat.
Sandy.
Get the party hat. Yes, Brian.
Sandy, when I get done with my master's, I'll have more time, and I'd like to go back to making like shorter videos too, so that people can catch a good glimpse of each kind of effect. I don't know. I could go to that length, once I'm done with my master's,
Yeah.
which will be this semester. Like I'll be
I
done.
miss Blood Calls, too.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on stuff for my channel. It's hard when I do 3 shows a week, though.
Yeah,
It's really
I
hard to
know.
get the time to do it. So.
Yeah, but we'll still do the weeklies. But I really think like sort
Do
of,
premieres here and there, you mean?
yeah, a couple of them here and there.
Yep.
All right. Well, I hope everybody had a good night. Preliminal says my birthday too, May 28th. So yeah.
Oh, happy
Yes,
birthday.
we did say that. You did have
Yep,
Preliminal on
we
the
did.
list. Happy
I know
birthday,
we did.
Preliminal.
We shouted
And-
it out. I think I shouted it out on a Curiosities show. Remember?
Yep. And Preliminal posted the YouTube, I guess, Emmanuel Swedenborg
Oh.
videos about it. So you guys check that out on your own time. Anyway, have a great Mandela Effect night, and God bless. Keep Israel and those surrounding countries in your prayers, that everything stays kosher. That they're able to rebuild on both sides. They need to end that battle.
Yeah, I know.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night,
And
everyone.
God bless.
Good night, everyone.